I get it. You've probably spent a few evenings scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video, and still feel that nagging doubt that you might end up splurging on a kitchen kit that looks great on paper but ends up gathering dust in the garage. The fear of buying the wrong outdoor setup is real, especially when you're juggling a budget, limited patio space, and the desire to actually use the grill, not just store it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, so you can compare specs side by side without leaving this video. When you start thinking about an outdoor kitchen, the first thing that pops into most people's heads is, I want a grill that can handle a steak, a side burner for veggies, and somewhere to stash the tools without looking like a cluttered mess. At the same time, you're wondering if the package you're eyeballing will actually fit your backyard layout, how much assembly you'll have to wrestle with, and whether the promised durability is just marketing fluff. Those are the exact questions I tried to answer after digging through the product page, the manufacturer's warranty, and a handful of real-world anecdotes from people who've already set up similar Blaze units. The Blaze Premium LTE 8-piece 32-inch propane outdoor kitchen package is basically a modular workstation that tries to hit all those boxes. It ships as an 8-piece set, a 32-inch grill with the brand's patented triangle-shaped searing rods, a side burner with brass-plated burners and its own independent control knob, a stainless steel door that swings open for easy access, and a drawer tucked underneath for utensils, spice jars, or even a small propane tank. What makes the searing rods stand out is the shape. Because the rods are triangular, food doesn't roll off as easily as it does on round rods, so you get a steadier sear on steak or kebabs. The side burner's brass plating is more than just a visual cue. Brass conducts heat evenly, which translates to fewer hot spots when you're sautéing peppers or simmering a sauce. And the lifetime warranty that Blaze offers is pretty bold. Most outdoor kits come with a 1 or 2 year guarantee, so the promise of best-in-class coverage definitely raises the confidence factor for long-term owners. Now, let's talk about how this plays out when you actually fire it up on a Saturday afternoon. Imagine you've invited a group of friends over for a backyard brunch. You can throw a batch of burgers on the main grill, switch the side burner to medium heat, and have a pan of scrambled eggs or a pot of coffee brewing simultaneously. The independent control knobs mean you're not juggling the same knob for both surfaces. You can keep the burgers sizzling at a high flame while the coffee stays at a gentle simmer. The drawer becomes a handy stash for your spatula, tongs, and seasoning blends, keeping the workspace tidy. When the grill is done, you close the stainless steel door, lock it, and the whole unit looks more like a sleek outdoor cabinet than a patchwork of metal and propane hoses. That convenience is the core of the product's value proposition. In many competing kits, you either get a standalone grill and have to cobble together a side burner and storage on your own, or you end up with a bulky built-in unit that requires professional installation. Blaze's offering sits somewhere in the middle. It's a DIY-friendly assembly that still bundles the essentials into one coordinated package. The fact that it's 32 inches wide does mean you need at least a 10 by 10 foot area to give it breathing room, especially because you'll want some clearance behind the doors for safe opening and closing. If you're working with a tight balcony or a narrow patio, this size could be a deal-breaker. On the flip side, there are a few practical trade-offs that the marketing doesn't shout about. First, the whole thing is a solid slab of steel, which makes it stable but also fairly heavy. One reviewer mentioned that the initial setup took a few hours with 2 people. Nothing you can't handle, but it's not a pop it out of the box and start grilling experience. Second, because the unit runs on propane, you'll need to keep an eye on your tank level. Unlike natural gas hookups that stay full, a propane tank can run low mid-cook if you're not monitoring it. The side burner, while great for low to medium tasks, isn't a high-output sear station, so if you plan on stir-frying a large batch of fajita meat at once, you might find yourself wishing for a bit more oomph. Finally, the lifetime warranty is generous, but it's tied to the original owner and requires proper maintenance, regular cleaning, and rust prevention. If you neglect those basics, the warranty won't magically fix a rusted door. So, who should walk away with this kit? If you're a homeowner with a dedicated outdoor space, say a backyard or a sizable deck, and you see yourself grilling at least a couple of times a month, this package is a solid middle ground between a bare-bones grill and a full-scale,